The Poet's Perspective podcast is brought to you by Urban Grind Coffee House. What better way than to start your day by grabbing life by the beans? Coffee beans, that is. Visit urbangrindatlanta.com to get coffee delivered right to your doorstep. And be sure to use the discount code POETRY to save 15% on your next pound of coffee. And if you'd like to be a part of the culture and represent the eclectic vibe and positive energy that Urban Grind has to offer, you can choose from our selection of brand new Urban Grind apparel. And if you're in the Atlanta area, make sure you visit Urban Grind for their selection of specialty coffees, sandwiches, and pastries while you get your studying done, working on that $1 million idea, or just meeting up with friends. Urban Grind Coffee House. Keep grinding. Celeste,
What's up?
what's going on? How you doing, Queen?
I am blessed. I am good. I'm excited. I'm ready.
Yeah, I'm excited too. So I usually kick it off just by telling everybody how this came about. Excuse me. So I met Celeste. Actually, I'm not sure where we met. Maybe Cats, maybe one of these open mics, or running around here around Atlanta. Which the poetry community down here in Atlanta is pretty it's pretty tight knit. So if you start running around, you start seeing a lot of the same people at different places. And I noticed I was seeing Celeste more and more and more. So we just connected just because poetry just does that to people. And she's been making waves in the spoken word community down here in Atlanta, which is not an easy thing to do because we got a lot of heavy hitters down here. So I wanted to bring you on the platform to not only share your story, but just help introduce you and your work to more people. So Celeste, if you could go ahead and introduce yourself to the people who might not be as familiar as I am.
Absolutely. So my poetry name is Celeste Starr, but my government is Dominique. But yeah, just moved to Georgia. March actually made a year. So I'm still kind of getting a feel for the state. I'm still GPS in a lot of places. For real.
Hey, we all still GPS in a lot of places, so don't even trip.
Okay, good. So I'm still within the mix. And I actually just started going out into the poetry scene back in November of 2020. That was actually the first time I ever did open mic in my life. So within the last 5 months, a lot of things been moving real quick. All praises for that. And yeah, it's fun. It's definitely fun and exciting. And I'm happy. I'm blessed. I'm grateful. So absolutely.
That's awesome. So Celeste Starr, if you could kick us off with a piece, just so these people that's on here know who they dealing with.
All right, so y'all want something fun, risque, conscience? What do y'all want?
Whatever's on your heart. What you feeling?
All right, so I started off with this. All right. As I close my eyes and zone out, tunnel vision, all I see is a winning route. Humble sister, heard it's the meek that lives long. So let's rally to breathe life to the valley of dry bones. Can we rally to breathe life in the valley of dry bones? We're all walking dead in this motherfucker. No sense of care or compassion for your sister or your brother. We're all on that struggle bus seeking shelter from oppression, and depression is normalcy. Can't you see? Because I can see. See how y'all's chosen people are lifeless but stay dancing in the street. Wake up, everybody. No more sleeping in bed. So spiritually inclined but physically doomed, we're looking for our killers to revive us. We say looking for our killers to revive us. Dry bones brittle in the sun, no longer getting fuel, breathing on empty. Our prayers are empty. The Most High must be displeased. Please, before his mercy is ceased upon thee. Dry bones breaking like tree branches in the south, hang bodies, brutal bodies, but we party hardy at the Ritz with those that named us, nigga. forgetful ass niggas, not even knowing we are walking gold, diamonds just thrown in rivers of blood, and doom provided the pressure. And now we're just dry bones with nowhere to go, lifeless, but stay dancing in the street off beat to a song written in hell. We gonna start with that. What's up, y'all?
Hey, that's what I'm talking about. That's all right. I feel loose now. I feel good.
Yes.
I feel good. Now, if you could slide over, let us see that logo in the background.
Oh,
can you
it's on my shirt too. Wait. Yeah, we got
let's
Celeste
see
Starr
that
everywhere. But yeah, see that?
All right. So that Celeste Star. What's that star represent to you? Let's start there.
Anything celestial, God, heaven, beauty, just everything great, phenomenal. The star can represent so much. We are all stars in our own right. Basically, that's what that represents. And it just went well. It went well with my name. My middle name is Celeste. So yeah, it went well and everybody's a star. So me coming out, the star with the mic, kind of trying to insert extra into the introvert. You know what I'm saying?
That's what's up. That's hard to believe. That's hard to believe.
It is. But that's why I kind of stepped out in the poetry scene to like just do something. I've been writing. I mean, typical poetry story, right? I've been writing my whole life.
Right.
But that's the case with me too. But I never really cared to share my art.
Was it ever a thought? Was it ever a thought to share?
No. No, honestly, my family knew I write. I used to write poems for my cousins for them to give to the girls back in school. You know,
Okay.
so they got a lot of play off me. But I've never even, growing up in New York, I never cared to do open mic. I never cared to express myself for the world to see. Just because I am a very kind of to myself person. Moving to Georgia, I wanted to flip that though. I'm going to move to Atlanta. I'm going to meet people. And then boom, COVID hit. So
wow.
I worked from home. I'm home. And it's like, okay, I'm still a hermit. So when I stepped out to Cats, and I didn't plan to go on stage that night. Honestly. Really? No. And actually, shout out to She Bars. I don't know. That was my first night meeting her. She must have felt my energy. Because she was like, you coming up. And I'm like, oh, shit. And I went up, and the rest is this. It really just made me feel something good. It really changed something in me. And slowly still getting more comfortable with doing my poetry. But it's exciting. I'm meeting some beautiful, great people. And I have no complaints about it.
So what made you go to that open mic that night?
Actually, it was my birthday eve.
Okay.
So a friend of mine took me, and I didn't know what it was.
And what day is your birthday?
My birthday is November 5th. Shout out to the Scorpio.
Hey, that's my daddy's birthday.
He must be a great guy. See? So
he's all right.
Yeah, so I went to the open mic, not knowing what I was walking into. And then Wendy, come get some, was like, oh, you here for the poetry? I'm like, what? And again, I'm just taking it all in. And it's like I really just fell into this. That's why I said the Most High is dope, yo. He hears us when we don't even say nothing. Right. Because here I am, like I said, I'm in a house. Do I even have a hobby? You know, as you get older, you like, what can I do? Right. Mind you, I've been writing my whole life. So I kind of just fell into this, seriously, Justin. I didn't plan to do this poetry. I just fell into it, and everything is just coming together so well. But that was my first time ever doing open mic, and I was nervous as fuck too. So,
how did you feel after you had spit the piece, and I'm sure you got nice round of applause? How'd you feel at that moment?
Man, I wanted more. I was hungry.
Yeah,
I was hungry. I was writing. I was hungry for it. And then I was finding myself getting real angry with myself because I'm like, why am I so nervous? Like, because after Cats, I went to Black Dot.
Okay.
And I did a piece there, and I'm shaking, and I'm nervous, and I'm like, Mom, I'm talking to my mom. Shout out, Mom, she on, and I love my family.
Hey,
They
what up,
support me so
Mom?
much. I'm like, Mom, why am I so nervous? And, you know, looking back at the videos, I'm like, oh, I can't even watch myself. I suck. And it's like, you know, you just got to learn to be comfortable in you. Everybody's an individual. And that's when I was like, you know what, you can do this. And I just started going out to more open mics. I did have my own event a couple of weeks ago. So I even had a great turnout at my event. And it's just like, this was meant to be. It was just meant to be. You know?
Yeah, we're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into your event and future endeavors. But I kind of want to stay on the this beginning process a little bit because it's very interesting to me. So
Yes.
do you still get nervous right now as you did in the beginning?
Absolutely. You didn't hear me nervous. You didn't see what I did.
You look comfortable to me.
You dry bones. No. I mean, I still get a little nervous. It's not as much because, like, I'll sign the paper to sign up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now,
where do you sign? If it's a blank paper, where do you sign? Do you sign like up top? You try to sign like in the middle?
It depends. I'm smart, right? So if I go to Cats and no one's there, I'm going first.
Okay.
I got 4 people in the audience. I'm going hard for them 4.
Okay.
If it's a little more, I'll go about 10 lines down and be like, don't call me.
Yeah.
So it really depends. It really, really depends. But yeah, I still find myself getting nervous. It's like when you sign the paper. Well, as soon as I sign the paper,
yeah, no, I feel you.
I start beating like crazy. Like, okay, why did I sign this paper?
Yeah.
But then once I'm up there and just doing my thing and releasing, it's a beautiful feeling. I'm kind of tired of holding it, so it's time for the world to hold it now. Hold my shit for me, y'all.
I feel you on that. That's a beautiful statement right there. That's a beautiful statement. So do you have any techniques that you use or anything, like, or do you just get up there and go and all the nerves go away?
I wouldn't say I have a technique. As of now, I feel like, and even though I'm kind of vulgar, I still feel like the spirit moves me. I'm not doing this for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing this for something much deeper and higher than me. So cut out the nerves, speak it, and do it. That's kind of what I say to myself before I go up. Okay. And I also say to myself, everybody is here to listen to poetry. Absolutely. So everybody is here to hear this. So do it. and that's what's kind of keeping me going in this realm. So yeah. That's what's up. And I think that's your mom right there. Is that her, C. Robin? Very much so. Yeah, my biggest fan. Yes. Hey, shout out to Mom, man. Whenever I do something like this or I have a show and my parents show up, it's always, man, that's always everything for me. That's everything. And so, I always say, I know the apple don't fall far from the tree. I know my father didn't just love her for her personality. You know what I'm saying? Facts. So you are from Brooklyn. Is it Brooklyn? Yeah, so I am from New York originally, Brooklyn. Okay. Moved to North Carolina in 2015. Okay. Kind of moved there to just start over. It's always kind of like a starting over. Moved to North, my nephew say everywhere. Yeah, I'm a gypsy, kind of like a free spirit. Moved to North Carolina in 2015. And then an opportunity came here in Georgia, and I moved here last year and just been kind of popping here since. So I plan to stay in Georgia. I like it here. So. That's what's up. Well, I'm glad you're here, definitely, because you definitely, add to our community here. So, so growing up in New York, did you have an idea that you wanted to be a creative as far as like something that you wanted to pursue seriously as a possible profession? Or was that even on your mind back then? Well, I come from a family of that. Okay. My dad was in a gospel group growing up. Okay. So we would go to a lot of his shows. I have aunts that sing. My dad did a lot of writing as well. So I just come from a artsy family. Okay. And so, but no, I never cared to pursue it in a professional or a serious manner. Mm-hmm. Like I could act like a fool in real life. But nah, it never was nothing like, let me pursue this, let me pursue it. It was just, you know, coming from a musical kind of family and writing in my family and rapping and just everything artsy. It's just who I am. Because honestly, I've been writing since I was able to hold a pen. Soon as it wasn't heavy, I was scribbling on a wall or something. Um,
Okay.
so it's just always been in me, but nah, life settled in and I just got to pay bills. So let's be serious. And
Right.
that's when corporate America got my ass for the
Oh,
last about 18 years of my life.
it happens. It happens.
Yeah,
I get it. I get it.
for real.
So when you were writing in the beginning, was it always poetry, or was it just writing, stories, or was the focus always poetry?
A lot of poetry. I wrote a lot of songs too.
Okay.
Um, as far as just music, me and even a couple of friends would sit, write music, had a girl group, kind of just having fun in the living room type of thing. But it always geared toward poetry because I am very emotional. I feel so much about nothing. And I think that's
Hmm.
just the Scorpio part of me. I care and feel so much to where my emotions are so strong. And instead of like throwing it at people, I put it on the paper.
Mm.
So it really always kind of geared to the poetry part because you could really get deep, deep in that essence of it. I mean, as well as writing music too, but it's just something with poetry. It's like jazz escaping your mouth. It's just beautiful. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's just always been poetry for me, whether writing or listening. Because I don't know if y'all see me out there, I be intrigued, like engaged, like I love
Yeah.
it. I love the scene. I love the poets. I love the scene and just how everybody is who they are in their own way is the beautiful thing.
And
So,
I love what you said as far as channeling that energy and putting it on paper, and not throwing it at people. And I have this it reminds me of this quote, this lady's book that I read, it's called The Artist's Way, and she talks about keeping the drama on the page. And
yeah.
so when you said that just reminded me of that. So that's kind of what I try to do in my life, because I'm kind of a emotional guy. I'm in touch with myself, so I don't feel bad about saying that. I feel manly enough. So I'm an emotional guy. So, I have to channel mine too. And I always just try to keep that in the forefront, like keep my channel it and put it on the page, keep all the drama on the page. So yeah, so that just reminded me of that. But talk about your process a little bit. What inspires you and how do these poems come about? Is it like, are you the type of person to sit down and like, for instance, I'm the type of person like, I have to, or at least I try to write every day. Sometimes I sit down, I don't have an idea, but I know I'm going to sit down and my hand is going to start moving, the pen is going to write something. But I know there's other people that really only sit down and write like kind of when they have the idea, when inspiration strikes. So talk a little bit about your process and what inspires the poems that you write.
Honestly, I don't write.
Really?
Um, I freestyle. So I could be in my car and I'm seeing something and then I'm recording on my phone.
Okay.
And it may not make so much sense in that moment, but that's the process of it.
Okay.
And then I'll revisit it and then kind of write it down. I
Okay.
rarely sit here with a pen and write a poem. Very rarely. And that's why my
Wow.
motto is it's all right to write, right? Because I really don't write. I just kind of
I
be on my
got you.
phone and I'm freestyling and then I'll come and write and tweak it up. That's the process. But really, anything. I mean, I saw a man, and mind you, I'm a city girl, right? I'm driving. This man is on a horse. I was like, oh, and it inspired me to just do something on my phone. So I got it on my phone, and I just got to revisit it. But it's just whatever movement, the spirit moves me, I react. So I necessarily don't have specifics that I write about. I think I'm a very complicated poet. I be saying shit and you really have to listen to what I'm saying. But that's really my process. If I feel it, it could be a jar. It could be I'm just at the red light and somebody rolled by and I just didn't like their bumper. I'm gonna do a freestyle about it and then revisit it probably a day or so later and then write it down.
Wow. Okay.
That's
So is this process going on? Is this like a daily thing? Is this going on throughout your everyday life pretty much?
Yeah, it does. I'm not as active as I once was because my time is just kind of crazy now with work and what I
Right.
have going on now with the poetry scene. But yeah, it's all the time. Like, oh, that'd be great to talk about, or oh, that's different.
Yeah.
So it's my mind is always doing this. Or I think too much. I
Got you.
never sit still and be. So I'm trying to learn that
Got
actually.
you. Got you. So
Yeah.
so when it and actually let me go back for a minute because you mentioned
Mhm.
like it's hard to watch yourself. If you record yourself doing a piece, has that gotten any easier for you to watch yourself perform?
A little bit, a little bit. I think everybody has that issue, like watching themselves perform. You're your worst critic, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So I mean a little bit though, because now I'm watching it and be like, all right, Dom, do this different. All right. Oh, you're getting better. Oh, you wasn't, so sometimes, but I don't focus so much on the videos or like if somebody record me and send it, I try not to focus so much on it. I might just put the phone down and listen to me
Okay,
versus kind of watching my movement or my body language.
got
But
you.
everything, honestly, Justin, everything is getting so much easier. For me to just kind of be doing this for 5 months, everything is slowly, slowly getting easier. And I feel it. I just feel it in my confidence, in my art, in my poetry. So I'm grateful for that.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And so yeah, that's why I asked because for me it's torture. Watching myself, I mean, because I try to, well, even just now, I just got to the point where like, okay, I gotta at least every time I go out, I try to record myself just so I can go back and watch it and see what I can improve upon. I mean, I have nights like I get home and God, I just do everything in my house to try to avoid sitting down to watch myself because I don't know, for some reason it's like I don't know. I'd rather rip my eyeballs out and throw them across the room. I don't know. It's torture, but I still try to do it. But I think it's very helpful
Mhm.
as far as giving yourself some feedback. And I think it's awesome that you, after 5 months of doing this, that you're able to do that. I probably couldn't
Yeah.
watch myself actually perform a poem. It took like 2 years to be honest. But I'm also kind of a punk sometimes, so maybe that could be it too. So that's just that. But so you put on your first poetry show recently. So if you could talk about that, talk about the experience of using your creativity for that instead of necessarily writing, and some of the challenges that you ran into putting that together.
Wow, yeah. So it was actually just a thought. I work from home, so I was sitting at work like I want to put on a show. Uh, it was just a thought, I guess, to get the poets in a different platform, get them to be in a different scene, a different element with a different person.
Yeah.
So that thought, I reached out to a few people. I had a dope team helping me behind me with it. Being so new, I was like, oh, I'm trying to, get the people going as far as coming out and supporting.
Yeah.
So looked for some venues, and there was a lot of hesitance with me. Many nights I'm like, man, fuck this shit. I ain't gonna do it because it's just became so overwhelming trying to find vendors, find people for the food. Like I had such a vision that I just wanted people to come have a good time and enjoy art and eat and just have a good time. Found a dope venue and everything, even with that, just fell into place so beautifully.
Hmm.
It's like I created the headache when it wasn't even necessary, right?
Wow.
But the venue came through. Actually, the food vendor I had, he came in a clutch like a week before the show. Didn't charge me nothing. He just said, sis, I got you. And he came out and he actually ran out of food because the crowd was so much. He didn't expect that type of crowd. Um, and then the talent I had, I mean, the talent I had two features. We had She Farrow, if any of you are familiar with her. And then actually my nephew from New York, O'Malley 3, he's on as well, up and coming rapper. He was
Okay.
also my feature. I had a special appearance by Queen Sheba. She did her thing. Sincere was there. A lot of the VIP crew came, blessed the stage. Papa Duke, the poet. I mean,
Heavy
it was just
hitters.
a powerhouse for it to be my first event. And it just turned out beautifully to the fact where I'm still high off it. You know what I'm
Wow,
saying?
that's
Like,
awesome.
damn,
Yeah.
that shit was dope. And when's the next one? So I am
Right.
getting that a lot now too. Yo, when's your next one? And I'm like, oh shit, they really want another one. But the challenges, honestly, was what I was creating for myself, just because my
Wow.
mind is always like this. Is people gonna come? And
Right.
I had my brother host. Now he's funny for the family, but is this nigga funny for strangers? So this is in my head. Is he gonna be funny for the world? Oh my God, this is gonna be bad. And then my whole family showed up from New York and North
Wow,
Carolina.
that's awesome. That's
So it
so
was
awesome.
like 19 of us up in there real deep. And shout out to my family. They support me in everything. We support each other in everything. But it was just, again, the challenge was just, again, my head. Oh my God, this is gonna go wrong. What if this, oh my God, you know, and everything was just beautiful. So
That's awesome.
I'm excited. I got some other things I'm working on, coming up with. And yeah, it's like I can't complain, yo. I seriously can't.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Shout out to O'Malley. Shout out to cousin. Shout out to cousin the village. Shout out to family, man. That family support, that's so important. I know for me in my journey, that's been one of the main things, like having people, I mean, even like not even like on a poetry tip, just having a support system behind me has helped my artistry grow so much. So I know how important that is to have people like that support you, and just having that foundation, that solid foundation in life. That's, man, that's everything to me. But isn't that powerful to have an idea and bring that to life?
Yes, yes, because I was sitting there, well, kind of still maneuvering around at the event, but then I'm sitting there like, oh my God, these people really came and showed out for me. And I just been on the scene 5 months. Who the fuck am I? You know what I'm saying? Like, but not to discredit me, but
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah, you
saying it's
making
not
noise
like,
out here.
right, it's not like I'm so known on the scene. And these people came through and showed up and showed out. The vendors was dope. It was just a dope night. I have no complaint about it at all. And it was a beautiful thing to have my family there, to just come and see. Because I'm out here with no family. No, I have no family here in Georgia. So for
Wow.
them to really come, and we made it just a great family weekend. You know what I'm saying? It was just a blessing. Like I'm doing something right. I'm
Yeah,
doing
yeah.
something. I must have been doing something right if the Most High is just doing all this for me without me even putting much of an effort. And I don't want to say it like that, but honestly, it's like I just fell into this, and the feedback and the receptance is like dope as shit, yo. So.
But I think even just being able to bring those people out, like you said, like it's not people that you have these like long-term relationships with. These are
Yeah.
people that came out to support you. So I think that just speaks to your character and just the energy that you give off. You know, people want to be a part of stuff you're doing. So make sure. I hope that you never forget that in whatever you're doing.
Definitely not. Definitely not. Like we all gonna eat. Everybody. I don't know
For
you. I don't
sure.
know you, but we all gonna eat because we that. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
We
For
all gonna
sure. That's
eat.
what it's
So
about.
absolutely. So my thing is one hand wash the other. They both wash the face. We all need each other. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. That's
absolutely.
what's up. I like that.
Yeah.
So just got a few more questions for you. Talk about how the pandemic affected your creativity. Were you writing during that time, or how were you feeling like kind of when these lockdowns first started happening?
No, I wasn't writing at that time.
No, well, not that Atlanta was locked down for that long anyway. Excuse me to cut you
Yeah.
off, but go ahead.
No, you fine. Because I moved here March 6th of
Okay.
2020. And started I was supposed to start my job March 16th, but quarantine hit. And they're like, oh, you're going to be training and everything from home. So for like 4 to 5 months, it really was focused on my career. I wasn't thinking of anything fun. It was just work. Okay, I don't know nobody out here anyway. Whatever. I go to Publix, GPS, go to the store, kind of get to know the area in that way. But actually, at one point, I went to Michael's. and I bought an easel and some canvases. Now I can't draw for shit, but I was painting and then just doing some abstract art. I actually sold a painting.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, but just because I'm like, do something. I feel like, and I'm very spiritual, so I just feel like the Most High put the world on pause for a reason. And I feel like if you didn't utilize this pandemic for something, you wasted it. It was definitely a time for you to probably get to know your family, and not necessarily always out. I've been quarantined for the last 10 years of my life. It wasn't really crazy for me. I'm alone.
Yeah, I feel
so
you.
being quarantined wasn't like, oh shit, I need to get out. This was normal. But I did find that I like to paint. So I started painting and doing things like that to pass by my time. I was writing here and there, and then a lot of meditating.
Okay.
I did a lot of meditating. No TV, no phone, just really music, some wine, some spirits, and just really meditating, because I moved here to start over. I I have a past, so I kind of moved here to just find out who am I? Who am I? What am I? Why am I like this? So that's why I felt like the quarantine was on time. Everything was on time, because it made me put myself on pause, though I wanted to be an extrovert when I got here. I was ready to go out, meet people, but it didn't happen that way. So I was able to take some time to really find out, who is Dominique? What do you like? What don't you like? Instead of living for people per se. So.
And that's man, that's powerful, because just out of the outside looking in, it's like the Most High, like, you wanted to get out there. The Most High was like, nah, you need to figure out you, because you'll be more effective. You'll be more effective. So if you can just figure this out and take some time, then you can get out there, and I can do in your life what needs to be done.
Exactly.
Man, so that's very powerful.
Yo, I am seriously, pardon me, a walking testimony. Like, for those, like, as people really get to know me and my life story, like, I'm a walking testimony. Like, God is real, y'all, for real. Like, I don't know y'all beliefs, to each his own, but he continuously have mercy on me, and I felt like I didn't deserve it, but clearly I do. But I am a walking testimony. I can attest to a lot of things, and how my life is going in this direction now, it shows. So get to know me, y'all see.
And we all will for sure. So Celeste, who are some of your influences just in life, period?
My dad, may he rest in peace. My father was dope, yo. God, he was just a dope man, just a man in every sense. Very, very real. Don't get me, he raised us. He wasn't militant, but very just structured, disciplined, especially with me and my sister, us to grow up to be women. So he was definitely my influence, and he paved the way for a lot of how I am and my strength. My mom as well, not to discredit mom. My mom is a beautiful person, and we have that relationship where I could call my mom and we have those crazy conversations. And I don't feel like, oh my God, that's my mom. No, we talk about things.
That's what's up.
So really my family, Justin, I mean, I can go into my musical influences, my authors, my poets influences, but honestly, I'm nothing without my fam. Because through everything, they're there, and they're powerful in their own way. So they are my influences. They are my reason. I have 9 nephews, 1 niece. So it's kind of like them looking up to me now, and now I can hopefully be their influence, just to show them life can be something different. Because a lot of my family is still stuck in certain situations, but it's okay to grow and be different and stretch out and take a chance. So I would say my family, man, my unit, my core, my mom, my siblings, my nieces, my nephews, they are my influences for sure.
Okay, and that hits home with me, because I mean that's how my life is. Like, my family is my tribe. It's everything.
Yeah.
And I guess if there's been, like, getting out, I pretty much, after when the pandemic hit, I pretty much took a year off from, like, going out and performing, of course. And I started getting back out like February, March. But that's been one of the hardest things. Like, I usually, I'm used to my family coming out, like my sister will come out and bring my nephew, and we all out. But with COVID and everything, everybody's been trying to like take a step back. So, but I understand. I just understand like that, how important that is to have that core, that support system. Because even me and my mother have the same relationship. Like I'm calling my mom and my dad too. I'll call them up and I talk about anything, you know. And they're and my parents are 70. So I just say that to say I just understand like just the importance of that and what role that just that family can play on moving forward and trying to go. And like you said, I mean, I have a lot of family. I mean, most of my family kind of like stuck in that. A lot of people stuck in that mindset of like, just like, I mean, I'm from a small town. I'm from Chattanooga, Tennessee. So it's just kind of like small town. Everybody's like just kind of content with what they got. But even like kind of breaking out of that takes some courage sometimes. Like telling people, "Oh, I do poetry." Like, what? You do what? Since when? Huh? Who? So I just say that to say I just say that to say I understand. I understand that. But Celeste, so if there's one message that you could convey out of all the shows that you put on, out of all the poems you write, if there's one message that you want people to get out of all your work, what would you want that one message to be?
When you sit on anything, you sit on everything. So
elaborate.
Basically, my story, for example, I've been writing my whole life, but never cared to share it. That one day I shared it, my life changed. So here I am sitting on something so beautiful when I was sitting on everything. So I would say that step out of step out of that, comfort zone, get uncomfortable. Even with this interview, I don't talk to people like, I was like, oh, I'm nervous. Sounds good, but I'm such an introvert. But just get out and do something different. Take a chance, take a risk, because you never know. You just never know what's going to happen. So that's what I would say. If you're sitting on something, you're sitting on everything, because you could be blocking blessings by being afraid to really go out and be you holistically at that. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I say.
Yeah. Okay. I feel that. So Celeste Starr, ladies and gentlemen. Celeste, that's all I got for you. I appreciate your time. I appreciate you coming on here and sharing your story with us. If there's any final words you got for the people or anything that you got coming up that you want to plug, the floor is yours.
Yes. So I do have some events I'm working on in my head. I'm actually starring in a play that's going to be premiering in July. So definitely be on the lookout for that. Follow me at Celeste Starr, CELESTE.
Do we have a location for that play?
Not as of yet. The venue she's working on, the actual theater it's gonna be at. So, but I do know the definitive date is somewhere in July. So actually this is every Saturday's rehearsal. This is the third or fourth. So we're just still kind of working into that.
Okay.
Got some events coming up that I'm working on as well. And yeah, just living, just here. Follow me on Cash App. I hear a lot of people say that. I'll take the kind that jingles, but I prefer the kind that folds.
Matter of fact, what is it? What's your Cash App? $,
Domi Rob, DOMIROB 83. That is my Cash App. So donate, support. It's definitely going to go to a good cause, my events and all that beautiful stuff. Yes, that's the Cash App. So hit me up. And yeah, I'm open to working with people, helping y'all plan events, whatever. Like I'm here, I'm out here. Oh, I got some hats. It's a right, right? And it is a trucker hat, but whatever.
Hey, trucker hats is fresh.
I mean, people don't really wear them no more, but I thought they were pretty dope. Just to kind of put my motto on it. And yeah, just be beautiful, y'all. Be life, be happy, be peace. And that's really all I got. And thank you, Justin, for allowing me to come share my story. and this platform. Like, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Hey, thank you for coming on. Like I said, giving us your time, sharing your story with us. I'm excited for you and everything that you got going on. Yeah, I'm just excited to see you grow more.
Thank
And
you.
as a poet and just as a person.
Thank
So
you. I appreciate that.
no problem. Thanks for everybody that tuned in. Thanks, mom, cousin, the whole fam.
Yes. I'm always
Gotta,
dancing to no music too.
yeah, that's what it's about. That is what it's about. So, so Celeste, I'm sure, yeah, I'm sure I'll see you around soon.
Yes, definitely. We will definitely see each other. And again, thank you again. Everybody have a good night.
No problem. Celeste Starr, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Peace.